Hello and welcome back to Couch in the Dungeon Gaming, where we are playing Dungeons and Dragons. We have um, Barin and Monrix with
Hello.
us tonight. Everybody else kind of had some plans, and you guys want to give a quick introduction of your character?
Well,
A little refresher. It's been a while for us since
yeah, it
we've
has.
played.
Hello. It's me, Clark, and I play Barin James Corbin. Barin is a red-headed, bearded young lad at about 18 years of age and about 6'3" tall. Is that okay?
Sure.
Okay, good.
Write
This down, Dalton, because I'm not going to be able to remember what I said. Guess I'll have to listen later. No, I'm kidding.
Your character.
He is very broad, and you will catch him playing his lute and flute and various other types of instruments as he is really into the art of music. He's a musician.
Cool.
And usually everywhere he goes, he gets tipped quite hefty.
All right. Interesting.
I am Dalton. I play Monrix Wargun, a Minotaur Paladin. He is chaotic good, male, black fur, yellow eyes, 6'10". And yeah,
How big did Minotaur get? Somewhere around like 8 feet.
I think actually they can be higher, but I just have him at 6'1", so
I was gonna say
It's kind of odd being taller than this Minotaur in our
Just
party.
kind of makes me. Does that include his horns? Do his horns go straight up, or do they kind of go like out?
out then up.
No.
I actually did get to making him on Hero Forge, but that's cool
Yeah, I
because
haven't gotten to there
yeah,
It's hard to design a character on Hero Forge.
yet. Yeah.
but yeah, size wise he's still smaller.
So he's definitely not done growing then.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Well, I guess I'm your dungeon master, and I play just about every other character in every other setting.
There we go.
With that, I guess a refresher. Last time we played, we started, your village had been attacked. You were very young, somewhere around 10, 12 years old. You watched your family, friends, neighbors get massacred. Some of them got captured to be sold as slaves. Presumably, you were rescued by the Phantom Vanguard Guild, where you were returned to the guild and were essentially adopted. They offered to pay you so much gold a month. In return, you would study, you would go to school, and essentially they were going to teach you the skills needed to survive and pay you a little bit of coin. You bought some adventuring gear because it was not supplied to you, and decided that you were going to take the trial week, the entrance exam, to get into the Phantom Vanguard. From there, your first trial was difficult for some, as it was a written test where at least 3 out of the 4 of you needed to pass. Thankfully, your group passed. You made it to the second trial, which was a 2 versus 2 combat, followed by a fight, a blind fight at that, against a creature known as a basilisk, which has the ability to turn you to stone if you look in its eyes. From there, after you won the fight, you completed your second trial. You were being led across the city into one of the taverns where essentially you're being told to party it up, have a good time. Not a lot of people make it to clear through the second trial. You notice there's probably about 100 teams that started, and you're probably down to around 25 to 30 that are a part of the second trial, that survived the second trial. You were one of the last groups to go, and you walk into the tavern. It's lively. You're seeing a lot of the acolytes that you've seen over the years from the guild, who their groups are participating in the trial as well. You've got yourself, Rook and Ja'Kier would be sitting at a table just drinking. They kind of go in, probably I'll leave it up to you if at any point in time you're at the guild you had tried alcohol. They probably wouldn't explicitly give you any, but if you were to nab some, that'd be different. But here, you survived the trial. Everything. So they're kind of considering, if you're old enough to fight, you're old enough to drink. So, and everything's paid for by the guild. You don't have to pay for food. You don't have to pay for drinks. You're given keys for your rooms. Each of you get your own room. And I'm going to pause real quick because I got to get something. And you're not necessarily confined to the bar for the night either. It's probably 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And as you're at the Winston Tavern, which is kind of across the road from the guild hall. So I'm going to pass the city map out, and you guys can kind of take a look at the city. You would know just from the school would be somewhere over by the keep. It's not on the map itself, but yeah, you would know that some of the taverns, some of the restaurants, potentially you know what the brothel is. I'll leave that up to your characters. But yeah, you're all kind of just at the tavern at the moment.
I probably wouldn't be drinking anything. I am going to find a quiet place to reflect. And I am going to reflect on my sister, Valerie, right? Or is that my mom?
No, okay. Valerie's your sister. Selena is your...
Selena is my mother.
Celine, I think.
Celine. Okay. And think back on my mother, exactly. And I'm going to try to resurface these thoughts because my character is... I think he's feeling a tremendous amount of guilt. And...
give me a history check.
Wants to, is bringing up thoughts of the past.
See how well you can remember what your sister and mom looked like after. See, you said you were about 18, so you probably would have been on the higher end.
I got a 2 plus. I didn't do very good.
So we'll say.
Hang on, I gotta add my history, right?
Yeah.
Total of a 6.
Total of a 6. It's really hard to remember what either of them exactly look like.
Okay.
You remember their names, and you remember how much you love them, but to call up their picture in your mind, you just vaguely remember a face, some hair.
I am going to attempt to push deeper. And because no doubt my character's buried this. And if I have to, I'm going to move to someplace that's far quieter.
Give me an intelligence saving throw.
That's a good one. 21.
21. You sit there, and it really bothers you that you can't remember what your mom looks like, what your sister looks like, your dad. It's hard to remember. You've tried to push that terrible memory of what happened down, not to think about it, that pretty much everything from the village has been pushed down. And as you're kind of starting to remember it, you're overcome by just the terror of that final night, that terror of that final, you remember being happy getting to celebrate your sister's birthday, and you remember giving her a gift, and then you're kind of overcome with that grief of losing everything. And then the longer you think about it, the more you kind of start to remember other things from before that night that were, and you can remember your mom holding you, and you can remember running around with your sister, and you can kind of really, you can picture and you can see, that face and those memories.
Can I push to see, do I remember any kind of like banner or anything that was held by the attackers?
Absolutely. Give me a make that an intelligence saving throw. And make that another intelligence.
19.
19. It's difficult to remember because there was a lot going on. You're a lot of your majority of your concern was seeing your mom cut down those bandits before getting kicked through a wall. But you can remember it was a black banner, and it had a like a zombie looking horse with a skeleton riding it and a red skull.
Black banner, zombified horse.
Skeleton riding it with a
red
black skull.
Zombie horse. Red skull.
Yep. No writing. No.
I am going to attempt to draw a picture of what I remember.
Give me an investigation check. Because what I say, there was about 25 to 30 teams left. You started with 100 teams, so that'd be average of 4 people per team. So there's a couple, there's like a lot of people in here. So what was your investigation check?
My investigation check is a 19.
Okay. So you're looking around, you find a suitable writing surface that's not soaked in meat or, someone throwing up or who knows what. And you find a couple of pieces of parchment and quill and an ink. So you're wanting to try and draw this. So
yes.
Give me... Oh shit, I don't even know.
On top of the one that you had me rolled?
Yeah, so the investigation was to
find
a
stuff?
spot. Yeah, to find a spot to do this at. So let's say intelligence or wisdom.
Okay.
Your choice. So you can use whichever one you would prefer.
Saving throw?
Yeah. No, just a regular.
Okay. 21.
21. So you're trying to draw the banner, correct?
Yes.
From the best of what you can see, it's pretty damn accurate from what you can
Okay. Dalton, what's your character's name again? Monrix.
Yep.
Look at this. Does this look like the banner from that night?
I don't know. We'll see. See if I can remember it.
Give me a history check.
History. Yeah.
Monrix, right?
Yep. $14.
14. It kind of looks familiar. The seeing it on paper kind of like jogs your memory, and you kind of start to remember more of just the thoughts of that night. Kind of brings back that feeling of anxiety and fear.
Okay.
I wonder if we could show this around and find where these bandits are located.
So where would you say that you'd be sitting?
I don't know, just wherever he's sitting at, because I would have went to him.
Okay, so you would have went to him.
That would have been on
Monrix,
his-
would you have been sitting with Rook and Ja'Kier?
Probably. Yeah. We'd probably be all together, I would say.
Yeah. So you come down and you're you're leaning over to talk to Monrix when Ja'Kier and Rook, who I'll say to draw it out, it probably took half hour, 45 minutes. By the time it probably took like 5 minutes to find the paper and to write, and then you were drawing. So Rook and Ja'Kier are a little drunk. They kind of got into the ale while you were gone. And Monrix, would you try to stop them from drinking?
No, but he is very tempted to do so as well. I'll just say that.
Okay. Well, you watch, and it's like first two pints, they just they kind of power through, and then they're sipping on a third one, and then somebody walks by and says something about Leonin ale. So they each split a Leonin ale. So they got they each got half. So you've seen them go from like buzzed to pretty inebriated. And Ja'Kier leans over and he says, What's that there, Barin? And as he leans over, he spills ale on your parchment of the drawing. Oh, I'm so sorry. And he's trying to dap it clean with like a piece of just something he picked up off the table.
I'm just going to kind of growl at him and grab it and walk away.
I don't know what he's so mad for. Maybe he should have one of these drinks. Or 2 or 4. I don't feel so good.
And I am going to head back, and I'm going to try to find myself a notebook.
So where are you, like, looking in the tavern? Or are you, like...
I would go wherever I needed to find such thing.
I mean, it'd be pretty easy to get your hands on the book, so yeah.
And I wouldn't take it around them fools again. And then I'm going to try to rewrite that picture again in that notebook.
Okay.
With some question marks and...
having it kind of, like, it's stained, but it's not,
okay.
like...
And then that one I'll fold up and put in the notebook, too, once
It kind
dries.
of wrinkle or, like, ran a little bit where the ink wasn't quite dried. It got in contact with water.
Okay. So I'm going to recopy it to the notebook, fold that up once dry, and place into the notebook. And this is going to become like my personal journal I'm going to hold on to.
Okay.
And I'm going to ask around to see if anybody recognizes this banner.
So are you just asking in the tavern that you're at?
Probably, yeah.
Most people, like pretty much everybody know, and they're, dude, come on, man. We passed the second. We passed the 2 trials. Who gives a shit about that banner? Have a drink, and they're just trying to, loosen up, have a good time. We're supposed to be partying.
So I'm gonna ignore them, and I'm gonna go somewhere else and leave the tavern.
Okay.
Find information.
Give me a perception check.
Okay.
Londrix.
Let's see here. My perception check is a 9.
$19.
19. So you definitely see Barin leaving.
Yeah.
And it's probably 5 o'clock, maybe 5:30. It's kind of like early. I guess it'd kind of be like mid-spring, so it would still be light out.
Is there anyone to ask about this?
I mean, there's people in the city. Your best bet to ask, like, specifically would probably be either A, showing it to the guild master at the guild. And
That's what I'll do.
And letting him know, or the guard's house themselves. But even though some of you might be known for being with the guild, you're probably not going to get a lot of answers yourself. So you think your best bet would probably be just to take it to the guild master.
That's what I'll do then. I'll go to the guild master.
Okay. He's pretty easy to find. He's usually in like the main hall where the map table and everything is. And as you go in, good evening, young Barin. I expected you to be at the tavern celebrating with your team. You put on quite a spectacle today.
Well, thank you.
Very
Guild
nice.
Master.
Very nice.
I
It's always
appreciate
nice to see the exploits of your training coming to fruition.
Well, thank you. I have a question. Does this banner look familiar to you?
Are you giving him? Are you just showing him the
Yeah.
notebook, or are you giving him the one copy that you drew out?
I'd show him the notebook, and then I'm going to tell him I have this copy too, but they spilled things all over it.
I can't say that it looks familiar, but the library has a list of banners. I can always go check, see what it is.
I mean, I can go. I have access to the library. And
You would have access to some of the library, not all the library. What the acolytes have access to is considered very limited.
I mean, he's offering to check?
Yeah.
If you would, that would be great.
Can I ask, what is this? Someone from the trial? Is this you're trying to learn of? Do you have a crush on a young lady? Is this her team's banner? Are you trying to?
No, sir. It's the banner at which the people that attacked my village.
What?
What?
We've been asking you for years if you knew who's had anything to do with this, and you can never remember anything. And now you can remember? Give me that.
Well, I'll be honest with you.
Stop talking, boy. Give it to me.
Here, sir.
And he kind of looks at it. I will have to have this copied and sent word out once. Someone somewhere must have seen this banner, know what bandit clan or what group it belongs to.
I'm sorry it's taken so long to bring forth this information, but it was extremely difficult to bring it up again. But I'm done sitting around doing nothing.
Oh, I absolutely understand that.
I want to avenge
just
my
wish
family.
This would have been... All right. Well, I will get this to the Grandmaster right away.
You're not the Grandmaster?
I'm the Guild Master. Your
Oh,
Honor.
okay. Grandmaster, Guildmaster. Okay.
I handle the day-to-day affairs and the handling of, the guild members, and the Grandmaster handles the interactions with the other guilds, the governments, that kind of thing.
Is there any way you can research this for me and let me know who they are? And do I have any coin I could slip in? I mean, I'd pay if that's okay. I really need to know this information.
Young Baron, this is not something that you need to be focused on right now. You need to focus on passing your third trial tomorrow. And it's going to probably take several days, possibly a couple of weeks, before we even get any information back. You understand? We have to send this information to each of the cities to report to the guard to see if they have any recorded sightings or run-ins or dealings with these banners, and then they will send information back.
I'm gonna try to use a persuasion in this. Well, please, I'm sick of sitting idle with my hands tied behind my back, and if you find out anything, can you please let me know?
I can promise you, Baron, the moment I learn something, you will be the first to know.
Thank you.
I am not denying your request. I am simply explaining to you the process upon which it takes so that you're not expecting an answer tomorrow.
I understand.
It can take a while.
I understand.
It may turn up. It may turn up nothing. I don't want you to get your hopes up, because while we didn't have the banner, we did know that you said this bandit clan was headed by Goliath when we met you.
Yes.
So we've been scouring, and there are a number of bandit clans that are headed by Goliath or ran by Goliath. And some of them have turned up, and we did some investigating, and while we did put them down, they were not the ones responsible. And nor had they ever heard of a bandit clan operating that far north before. That typical area was usually rather untouched.
Well, thank you for your time and kindness. I must return to my studies.
Yes, return back to the tavern. Have a drink to help put your mind at ease. Inform your friends that we are still actively looking. We will continue to look. We will follow this lead, and that within a couple weeks we should have some information.
Thank you, Grandmaster. I'm going to
Guildmaster.
Sorry,
friend.
Guildmaster. And I'm gonna do whatever exit necessary, and I'm gonna walk out, and I'm gonna look at Monrix.
I don't know if he followed you.
Did you not follow me?
So
I thought you followed me.
Yeah, you'd have to go back to the tavern.
I'm not going there. Oh no, I'm probably just gonna wander. See what I see.
I mean, there's pretty much anything on the map. The the different shops, the magical shop, the potion shop, the brothels down there. The arena sits off to the side, but it's mostly empty at this point.
I'm just going to watch people and how they act and things that they do, just to look for things that may be interesting. Just because, I don't know, I'm just kind of slightly agitated, irritated, and just kind of see what's going on in this town.
Give me a perception check.
Dang it, I was really hoping you'd be with me. We could have bonded there. My perception is a 16.
16. I mean, people watching, you see several different people. There's a couple of people that sit on a street corner and they kind of do some minor like cantrip magics. It's just like a little show. You see people throw them a few coins. you see there's a couple of different people. You watch a couple like noble people who think nobody's looking. They're like picking their nose or doing something, you know. But nothing that's
No
like,
theft, no nothing like
yeah,
that.
nothing that's really like open theft or anything like that. The cities, I don't want to say it because there's definitely a criminal element within the city, but it's kind of like you're in a nicer part of the neighborhood. Tends to be around the area around the guild, tends to be the areas around. So, like the guild and the keep tend to be very like this. I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? Like safer, I guess. You know, you got a lot of adventurers around the area, so people just like you never know if you're trying to rob an adventurer just out, or like a lot of your crime takes place in what would be considered kind of the outlying residential areas.
Gotcha. Okay. Just gonna keep doing what I'm doing then.
Mondrix, is there anything you'd like to get up to?
No, I'm just watching the other two and back at the tavern.
So, Rook is passed out. He rolled a natural 1 on his Constitution saving throw. And Ja'Kier is not far behind him.
Okay.
They're just kind of like Rook is just slumped over the table, and Ja'Kier's kind of like holding his head up in his hands, sitting at the table.
Okay. Okay. Is there... Can we get water?
Oh yeah,
Here?
yeah. You can get water at the bar. There's a kind of like an area where there's like a bucket where you can fill up water and kind of like splash your head in it or something if you're trying to refresh yourself.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll go up to the bar to get 2... 2 mugs of water.
Oh, that I can give you that, and he just sets down 2 mugs.
Okay.
It's clean water, cold.
Okay. I'll go back to the table and put 1 mug, hold 1 mug over Ja'Kier, and the other mug over Rook. Then slowly turn them upside down and pour the water over them.
Ja'Kier kind of jolts awake. Sobers. Why is my fur wet? What? And kind of he like confused. He doesn't see you holding the mug, and Rook kind of just about half wakes up and then just slams his hand through the table, and it breaks the table. There's several people kind of jump, look around. What the fuck? Hey, if he can't handle himself, then it's time to take him to bed, huh? We can't have him breaking everything. The guild's going to have to pay for that.
Yeah, that's where he's going.
And there is just a fairly decent sized chunk of table missing out of
Sounds
the
like
middle
he
of
could
the
be
table
violent.
now.
You might have to fight him to get him to bed. This might be a full out bar fight.
Okay. Okay, I'll try to pick up Rook and pretty much just throw him over my shoulder. Little halfling.
As you pick up Rook and kind of throw him over your shoulder, and I'm assuming you're carrying Ja'Kier
Yep.
as well. You kind of got him like you got Rook kind of under your arm, and Ja'Kier's kind of like over your shoulder, and you're walking through.
How big are you?
Well,
Oh, I'm a minute.
Rook's only a gnome, so he's
okay,
small.
that's right.
Yeah. I thought he was a halfling, but
Okay.
yeah, no.
It's
okay.
one of the two. I
Yeah.
can't
Gotcha.
remember. So as you're kind of carrying him through, there's several people that are kind of laughing, like, they can't handle their booze. And you go upstairs, and you carry him upstairs, and you got the keys, so you get him into their room, and you kind of just drop him on their bed.
Okay. Yep. And
Put a bucket beside their head, so each room has a bucket, or if you have to throw up or something, throw up in a bucket. Not clean your room with it.
yeah. All right, so I'll do that, then just head to my room and also get ready for tomorrow.
So while they're doing that, I'm gonna eventually find a spot, sit down on the street, and start playing my lute.
Give me a performance check.
13.
13. It sounds okay. Until you realize that your lute actually broke a string at some point in time.
Gonna have to fix that. When do I do? Am I still performing as I realize that?
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it away, and I'm going to pull out my other instrument. Hang on a minute. See if I can break it too. That's just the way this day's going. Now I'm gonna have to restring this thing. Ugh. I'm gonna pull out my my hand drum.
Give me another performance check.
18.
You get 6 silver pieces from people as they walk by. And by now, it's getting to be pretty dark. Probably 10 o'clock.
What do I have going on tomorrow? Can you tell me?
Yeah, tomorrow is the start of your 3rd trial.
All right, I'm gonna go back and go to sleep. And my way in, I'm gonna be thinking, who celebrates and drinks and gets absolutely hammered right before the trial? This could impact the way things go tomorrow.
And as you think that, you walk in, there are several people that are just very heavily intoxicated.
I'm gonna shake my head and walk by and get to my rooms.
As you go up, you're both in bed. It's probably about 11 o'clock. At least I'm assuming you're both going to bed. And then you go to sleep for the night. And Corbin, I would like for you to roll me I believe it's a wisdom saving throw. Yeah, give me a wisdom saving throw, Corbin.
Okay. 4.
4. As you're drifting off to sleep, you start to dream. And as you begin drifting off to sleep, you can look and you are standing in the middle of a large, looks like encampment, somewhere deep in the woods. And as you're kind of looking around, you can see your sister Valerie. But she looks the same as she did the last time that you saw her, except she's wearing dirty robes. She has great big scars that are kind of like across her mouth. And she is trapped in a wagon. This wagon is kind of like coming into this encampment. And it's like you're standing in the encampment watching the gates open. You can see there's banners of
Do I recognize the
zombie horse
Okay.
with the skeleton on it and the red skull, and they're kind of sticking up over top of this encampment.
What kind of trees are around me?
Give me a perception check.
Oh no.
This is
13.
This is a pretty hard difficulty. You can't tell. The only thing that you can really tell is everything outside of the encampment is damn near pitch black.
What's the shape of the encampment? Square, circle,
From what you can see, it's kind of like a circle,
circle. Okay.
but you can definitely tell that there is more there than what you can see, at least in this dreamlike state.
Are there any identifying marks on the wagon that she's in?
It's just kind of like picture the prison wagon
Okay.
from
A generic one.
like Red Dead 2. It was kind of just like bars.
Yeah.
And you were kind of shackled inside of it. And you can see that there is a Goliath sitting at the top of the cart, driving it, with another Goliath sitting beside him.
Is this the same Goliath from what I seen that fought my mother?
It's hard to tell
hard
at
to
this
tell.
distance.
Can I get any identifying markers on this Goliath?
The only thing that you can see right now is that he's dressed in like a half plate armor, full dress with a half plate with the helmet off. Both of them that are in the front of the cart.
Are they both Goliaths?
Yeah.
Okay.
And all of a sudden you hear a voice standing beside you, and he's looking at you like he's talking to you. Keep your eye out. Keep your eye out. The wolves this deep in the forest are ancient, and they can't be controlled by the magic.
I'm gonna test. Can I talk to this man?
What do you want to say?
What do you mean, wolves can't be controlled? I'll kill them damn wolves.
The wolves are ancient here. Yeah. And then
Here.
you hear this piercing, deep howl coming from the forest. And all of a sudden, there's a black boar launching from the trees over. The walls are probably about 15 feet tall. The trees are probably 50 to 100 feet. I mean, they're tall.
The trees are really tall.
The trees are thick. You
Thick and
can't
tall.
You can't see the top of the canopy. It's pitch black, like deeper as you look beyond the torches and the light that is within this camp.
I'm gonna look and I'm gonna try to interact with him. Where in the are we?
And you see another form of it. This just a monstrous 6 foot tall wolf, and it's standing on all fours, and its shoulders are like 6 foot tall. And it just one bite just kind of bites this guy in half, and this definitely looks weird. It looks like, I don't want to say, it's just an ungodly, just weird looking wolf, and its fur is almost pitch black, and then there are suddenly dozens of these wolves pouring into this encampment.
Are they more like werewolves on two legs or on all fours?
No, they're on all fours.
So is it just like a big monstrosity of a wolf?
Picture almost like
Like a Twilight type?
like a dire wolf,
Okay.
but like the shoulder of the dire wolf stands 6 feet tall. The rest of the body is built to be like
That big.
proportionalized.
Okay.
But some of the limbs are a lot more lanky,
Yeah.
and the face just doesn't look great for a wolf.
Does it have more human features to it?
It's not really that it has. It just looks as if there is pain and anger just etched into the fur and into the face.
Okay.
It's just a very twisted. The snout's not as long as what you think. Then the teeth are much larger. And you can see as these creatures just begin dropping in, and they are attacking the cart, ripping their claws, just kind of ripping straight through the
But they're not
cage
attacking
like
me?
it's butter. No, they're not attacking you. There, you can see both of the Goliaths. The one has put his helmet on, and they are fighting. And you can see your sister is being drug away by one of the wolves. And then you wake up. And when you wake up, you're just screaming.
Okay. Ugh.
What the hell's going on in there? Why is everybody screaming? What the hell? And you just hear multiple people just. It's not time. What? It's so dark outside. Go back. Stop screaming. Go back to bed.
I'm gonna try to get myself together.
Give me another wisdom saving throw.
12.
And you're able to kind of collect yourself. There's still a deep pit of anxiety that you just don't know what to deal with, but you know the cold sweats have kind of stopped, and you can kind of breathe normal, and you're kind of feeling a little calmed down.
What was that?
Monrich, you would have definitely have heard him screaming.
What in the world was that?
It was definitely loud.
I'm gonna sit up on the side of my bed and put my hands over my face and just kind of gather my thoughts. And I'm gonna get that notebook and I'm gonna write down all those details.
Okay.
Every bit of it. The whole dream is written down.
Okay. And you still got about, after you get done writing, you have about 3 hours before daylight. And they told you if you needed to, you could you could sleep in. You know, if you need to sleep off a hangover or whatever, you could just report in for the third trial whenever your team was assembled.
All right, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get plenty of sleep then after that. If I can fall asleep.
Yeah, it takes a little while, but eventually you do drift back off to sleep.
Okay.
Monrix, what do you have planned?
So I'd probably just go back to bed, because aren't we, I guess, free from the blacksmith or our jobs that we're assigned?
Yeah, you don't
Okay.
you don't have to do the jobs during the trial week.
Okay. Yeah, just go back to sleep.
Okay. So eventually you both wake up and you make your way downstairs where you're able to get some breakfast in the morning, and Ja'Kier and Rook aren't quite awake yet. And as the two of you are kind of eating, you start talking about, some of your happier times that you had. Seeing the banner, drawing the banner, kind of made you start to really think about, and you start thinking about some of the happier times you had at the village, some of the, the misadventures you got to as when you were kids, and then you kind of start talking about some of your first few weeks, when you first got to the guild, and we're gonna end this episode here.
Before that happens, I'm going to look at Monrix and I'm going to say, Monrix, if you're in the room, I really miss it. I wish that we were kids again and we could go back. And I'm going to embrace you with a big old hug and sob on your shoulder. I miss it so much. I just want to go home. Now we can end.
Are your arms long enough to do that?
It's more of like,
I don't know, buddy. I might have my head on your chest like this.
I was just saying, it'd probably be more.
Yeah. I keep forgetting you're a Minotaur. Yeah, I'm holding on to you. You're so cuddly. Oh, I didn't know you were this soft.
Yeah, and we will wrap this episode up here, and we will see you guys on the next one.